Welcome to Christchurch Cathedral, the oldest working building here in Dublin, and it dates back to 1170. Now, previous to Christchurch Cathedral being built, there was a wooden church here that was built in the year 1028 by the Vikings. The Vikings, of course, then were defeated by the Normans in the year 1170 under a man by the name of Richard De Clare, a Norman warlord, and also known as Strongbow. And Strongbow's tomb lies in rest within the cathedral. So he rebuilt it in stone in the English Gothic Romanesque style. Now, inside this cathedral you have the largest cathedral crypt of any cathedral crypt in either Great Britain and Ireland, and it's also the oldest. They also have the oldest secular carvings in the world here at this cathedral. Inside the cathedral you have beautiful monuments. You also have one of the 4 copies of the Magna Carta, and also you got the clothing to Henry VIII and his family, the Tudors, who are known as the Tudors. There's also a cat and a rat, the mummified remains of a cat and a rat, on display in the cathedral crypt. And the story goes, in 1850 the organ player was about to play the organ as the choir was ready to sing, when he put his foot on the pedal of the organ and it was stuck. He goes around to the back of the organ pipe and he finds a cat and a rat dead in one of the organ pipes, and their mummified remains, as I say, are on display in the cathedral crypt, and they're affectionately known as Tom and Jerry. They even get a mention in James Joyce's book Finnegan's Wake. Now, also here you will notice the bell tower, and the bell tower here is in the Guinness Book of World Records, as there is more church bells here than any other church on the face of the planet. 19 church bells. Now, this would have been originally a Catholic cathedral when it was first established by Strongbow, Richard De Clare, by the Normans. But that all changed. That was in the year, as I say, 1170, but that all changed in around the year 1534 under the rulership of Henry VIII. Henry VIII himself happened to be a Catholic, and so was all of Great Britain, so was all of Ireland. But he wanted to get permission from the Pope for a divorce from his wife Catherine of Aragon, as she wouldn't bear him a son, and also he wanted to marry Anne Boleyn anyway. But the Pope refused him permission, so he decided to then start his own religion, and that was the Anglican religion. And like overnight, all the churches throughout Great Britain and Ireland became Anglican. And most of Britain, Great Britain, would have transformed, if you like, and became Anglican or Protestant. They tried to do the same to reform the Irish population, to transform to Protestantism or Anglicanism, but they wouldn't go for it. They wanted to remain Catholic, so they had to. It was illegal to practice Catholicism at that time under Henry VIII, so they would have had to practice their Catholic religion in secret, in hedges, in forests, in their own homes, or what have you. Now, there's also a story here that in the man that actually was the Archbishop here when this cathedral was first established was Archbishop Lawrence O'Toole. And Archbishop Lawrence O'Toole, he died in France, but his wishes were for his heart to be brought back to the cathedral which he ran. And his heart was here for centuries upon centuries and centuries, until 2012. And in 2012, Archbishop Lawrence O'Toole's heart was stolen from the cathedral. And 6 years later, in 2018, the man that stole Archbishop Lawrence O'Toole's heart from Christchurch Cathedral calls the Irish authorities, the Irish Garda, the Irish police, to say, "I'm the man that stole Archbishop Lawrence O'Toole's heart from Christchurch Cathedral." Well, they couldn't believe it, because what thief ever owns up to stealing something? So they asked him, "Why are you telling us this?" And he says, "Well, I want to give it back." They were even more amazed with that answer, because what thief ever gives anything back? So they asked him why he wanted to give it back, and he says, because for the last 6 years I've had nothing but heartache in my life. He had a heart attack himself, one of his parents had a heart attack, people around him, his friends, were having heart attacks, some of them were dying also. So it was like a curse that the whole time he had this heart in his possession. He hid it down in the Phoenix Park not far from here, told the authorities where he had hid it, never gave his name, so he was never arrested, and now it's back on display since 2018, this time under a glass frame, and it's alarmed. So don't try and steal it, folks, if you come by Christchurch Cathedral. A wonderful, wonderful cathedral, as I said before, the oldest working building in all of Dublin, dating back to 1170. And as I say, well worth a visit, especially if you want to see the cathedral crypt. The building straight ahead of us right there, connected to Christchurch Cathedral through an archway right there, is Dublinia Museum, which basically focuses on Dublin's medieval heritage, and also the Vikings, the Druids, the Celts, the Normans, and every other aspect of medieval history here in Dublin. So just a little spiel, if you like, on Christchurch Cathedral, dating to 1170. Thank you, folks. Have a great day. Look at it.